is right to own property and live in safe community. Right to own property and live in safe community. All Nigerian citizens have the right to own houses. But why do most Nigerian citizens not own houses today? What kind of things can the Nigerian government do to help them own houses? We shall be seeing answers to these questions in the course of this lesson. First, let's look at the meaning of right to own a property. It involves the right to own a house and the land the house is built on. So the right to own a property, it could be anything, it could be animal, it could be cars, it could be land, it could be buildings. It involves the right to own. Now, property rights, what are they? Think about it. You live in a property, you work on a property, the water you drink has to come from a property. But did you know that 3/4 of the world population do not have property rights? No proof for the land they are living. Imagine for a moment, a man walks into your house and knocks on your door and says he wants to build a shopping mall where you live. You have titled it with the proof of ownership of your house. So you have a choice to sell or simply stay put. But it is a different story in many parts of the world. In Africa, for example, 90% of the land is undocumented. Your family might have gone through some problems. How do you have a property without a proof? You risk losing your home, your land, your livelihood. Your children lose hope too. Now, in some parts of the world, it's even tougher. Women cannot own or even inherit property. Despite producing the world food, women own less than 20% of land. But the problem is not just about farmland or forest. It's happening in some of the world's fastest growing cities. From the highly populated to the least populated areas. Now, communities without titles or tenures are losing their houses and homes to bulldozers. Bulldozers destroy their houses in the name of development. So property rights are incredibly important. But people can prove ownership, that they have security and funds to invest in their future. So a community with property rights is healthier, wealthier, stronger, and well educated. It's all about property, land, access, connection. What are property rights? Now, these are legal rights that entities have on things or creatures that they own. The entities or owners may be people, companies, charities, governments, trusts, etc. So property rights are among the most basic rights in our free society. In today's Western democracies, property rights are taken for granted. However, if they cease to exist, we would notice it immediately. There will be chaos everywhere. So if there are no property rights, nobody will have the right to own anything. Now, in the advanced economies, property rights may be extended using deeds, copyrights, and patents. Now, they protect scarce tangible resources such as your land, your buildings, your cars. It is in non-human creatures, including cats, dogs, horses, and other pets. So you have to have a proof to identify your property from the other person. What does it mean to trespass? To trespass. You've come across that word before? Yes. Building a house on someone else's land or to live in a house without permission means trespassing. So that's it. Now, reasons why people do not own houses. Oh, yes. A lot of persons don't own houses of their own. First is poverty. The second is high cost of land. Yes. Now, the government can come in. The government can help to provide funds so that people can borrow and build houses of their own. Okay? Another topic we will look in is the right to live in safe communities. Yes, the community you are living in, is it safe enough for you to live in? So community is the area where people live. Okay? As citizens of Nigeria, we have the right to live in a very safe community. Okay? Now, we have the right to live in safe communities. A community can be safe more than the other. So what's a community? Now, a community is a group of people who live in the same area, such as a city, a town, or a neighborhood. So we have said there are 3 different types of communities. You have the rural community, the suburban community, and you have the urban community. So the rural communities, okay, it has open land, okay? You need cars to move long distances. So it's very important that we live in a clean community. A clean community is safer than a dirty community. Do you understand that? Okay? So as citizens of Nigeria, we have the right to live in safe communities in our country. Many things make one community more or less safe than another. For example, a community in which there is a lot of crime and violence, it's not safe. So now, when we talk about safe communities, inhabitants in that community are likely not to get germs. Then when you talk about suburban communities, houses are closely built. Okay, they have small pattern houses, they have grocery shops, they have other small buildings. So suburban communities are always outside the main town. Now the urban communities, they are large. Okay, the urban communities, they are very large. It's a city community, have lots of tall buildings, you have large population, you have people living. So Benin City is an urban community. Lagos is an urban community. Like I said, there are more animals that carry diseases like rats and cockroaches in communities that are dirty. Germs will be moving everywhere. So building safe communities is very important, that we build safe communities for people to live in. Imagine a community that is built right on the bank of a river. If it rains a lot and the river rises, there is more likely to be flooding in that community, and nobody will want to be in a flooded environment. So in Nigeria, state and local governments are responsible for making laws about where citizens are and are not allowed to build their houses. So government should make sure that houses that are built in places where industries are polluting schools and residential buildings shouldn't be allowed. So it is always safe that government should protect its citizens and make sure that factories should not be built near schools or houses. So in suburban communities, it's also encouraged that there shouldn't be much communities. Now, building safe communities, it's very important that we shouldn't live in flooded environment because it's not safe for us to live. Look at the image before you. You can see this flooded environment. You can see the houses are submerged on the floor. This is not a safe community at all. Look at this other image, oil spillage everywhere. Oh no, this kind of community is not safe. You can't farm in such a land. It's unhealthy, it's unsafe. Okay, look at all the waters are being merged with oil spillage, that is crude oil spillage from the soil. This will destroy farm life, it will destroy water life like fishes and all that. So it's very important that we live in communities that are safe. Look at this other image where these buildings are cracking off. I'm sure this is due to earthquake. Okay, so these communities are not safe to inhabit. Look at an overpopulated city environment. This kind of community is not safe because germs and diseases can spread very fast. So it's always advisable that we stay in communities such as beautiful as the one you are watching. Okay, a community that is free, that has trees. A recap on what we have just said. We've said that it is very important that we live in communities that are safe. So we have the right to live in safe communities. So there, thank you for watching this video, and I encourage you to complete and upload your homework. See you next time and have a superb day. Thank you and be good.